Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team. This video is going to be about day trading options. I'm going to give you an overview of how to day trade options, and then I'm going to show you a real world example of how to day trade options. So, when day trading options or trading options in general, you're trading an options contract. You're not trading shares of the stock, so you're not going in and you're not day trading shares of a physical stock. You're trading an options contract, and that contract, each one of them, is the equivalent of 100 shares of the stock. Now, you're not executing the options contract to receive shares, you're just buying and selling the options contract within the same day. And obviously, you want it to either go up or go down, and then you're profiting on it, right? So, kind of like with a stock, you want the stock to move up or down, you're buying and selling shares of the stock. With an options contract, you're buying and selling an options contract that same day, and you're capitalizing on a fraction of that move of the stock, and you're profiting. So you're just buying and selling the options contract. So what's nice about day trading options is you can trade large cap stocks, really well-known stocks, without having to put out a lot of money. And what you're just looking to do is capitalize on the intraday bullish or bearish momentum. So you can make money whether the stock goes up or down. So you can day trade options on the way up, or you can day trade them on the way down, which is nice. So you're not having to short. So if you wanted to go bearish on a stock, you have to find shares to locate and go short. Whereas with day trading options, you just buy or sell, an options contract. So you can go long or short with day trading options on major stocks, which is awesome. So here's an example of an order entry screen. You can see Apple here. There's an options chain in the background. And when you confirm the order in the order box, you'll see when I'm buying one options contract of Apple, that's the equivalent of 100 shares. And you'll see at the making of this video, it's 575 bucks. So to control 575 or to control 100 shares of Apple is 575 bucks rather than 100 times $116, which is what, $12,000. Huge difference in the amount of money that you have to put in. Now, again, it's trading on a fraction. So, like as this options contract moves up, or as Apple moves up, the contract doesn't move up completely like for like, which I'll get into. It moves up a fraction or a percentage of the price of the stock. But again, you're not having to put in all of that money to trade it. So where do you buy when you're day trading options? Well, there's not an exact science. You can change it up. It's all a matter of your comfort level. You can go longer term, you can go shorter term, but typically you're looking to buy options contracts at or near the money with about 1 to 2 weeks until expiration. Now, you want to be careful buying at open because you want to give time for the patterns to play out, especially, with market open in general, you get those larger candlesticks. And like anything, you'll hear us say over and over again, buy low, sell high, buy at support levels, sell at resistance levels. So, when market opens, you got to give it a few minutes, let those patterns play out, find your trend lines, find those support and resistance levels, look for pullbacks, those smaller little candlesticks off of moving average lines, then you look for your entries. So here's an example of an options chain. You can take our options courses if you want to know how all this breaks down. This video is not going to be about how this whole options chain works. I just want to draw your attention to, you can see Apple, the dates over to the left at top. You can see those are weekly options contracts. The top one says 2, the bottom one says 9. That's days until expiration. So you're looking, a week to 2 weeks out. Some people will trade, shorter term, the nearest expiration. So the nearer the expiration, the lower the contract. The further out the expiration, the more you pay for the options contract. And then you'll see the pricing in the middle, which is the strike prices. That's at or near the money. So you can see price currently with Apple is at $116. So those are the two strikes that are basically at or near the money. Now, delta is one of the options Greeks. Again, there's several different Greeks that kind of determine the price movement of an options contract. So this is not 100% accurate, but again, it gives you a good gauge that basically delta shows you the amount that the options contract will move up or down for every $1 move up or down within the stock. So if Apple moves up, or just say in this instance, if Apple moves up $1, typically the options contract will move up around 55 cents, right? So like I said, it's not going to go like for like. So if Apple goes up $1, the options contract's not going to go up $1. It's going up a fraction of that. So like I said, around 55 cents if you're in that 114 strike. Again, a gauge, the other Greeks come into play as well. But if Apple goes down, then if Apple goes down $1, then your options contract will go down around that 55 cents. So it goes up or down that 55 cents per contract. So remember, each contract is worth the equivalent of 100 shares. So that would be up or down $55. So let's take a look at a real world example on how to day trade options. All right, so I want to show you an example on how to day trade options looking at Apple here at the moment. So I'm waiting to see a 5-minute candle close here. We are almost 15 minutes into open. Want to see if this forms a possible bull flag. And then you can see I kind of have some areas of resistance mapped out above here. So I'm looking to see for a possible bull flag entry as price kind of gets above that 113-ish area. If so, I might take an entry on this as for a breakout, and then I'll look up at these levels here for possible entries or exits on reversal. So I'm waiting for that candle to form. I'm going to go over here looking to see potentially one of these strikes here. Let's wait for... I'm looking at my other screen, so you can't see it right now. I'm just waiting to watch this 5-minute candle close. It's kind of a spinning top candle, so I'm just going to watch it and see this candle close in another 7 seconds or so. If so, I'm going to get my order ready. And oh, I missed the momentum on that one. Let's see here. I'm going to go up here. Let's see if it hits. 462. I'm going to change this up. I'm going to put the mid price up at 465. Oh, there we go. I got in. Cool. So I got the fill. So it's popping up. It's dropping right back down at the moment. So you'll see it's cutting in as I go to the candle. It broke above that 5-minute candle. So now I want to see on this here, I want to see price on this 5 minutes stay above and continue up. So I'll kind of just draw my kind of short-term trend line like this right here. So you'll see I have a wider trend line up here. I have these resistance levels, and there's kind of a bigger overall kind of falling wedge pattern right down here. So I want to watch right here, see if price is going to go up. It started at open, it rejected below that 50 SMA. So I'm going to see if this candle will move up on the hourly and move up towards that 50 SMA. So we're going to watch these 5-minute candles. You can see it's moving up at the moment. So again, we're going to watch this, look at these resistance levels, and see if there's reversals at these levels up here near resistance. So looking at the chart here, you can see this dark red line right here is the 50 SMA on the hourly. So you can see there's some resistance or some rejection happening right up there. It's a little bit further away from this 9 EMA. So it's retesting this lower trend line. So just to show you on the hourly chart what this looks like, when I zoom in, you can see, again, this bigger overall falling wedge pattern. And price let's see if you can kind of see it. It's right here, that pink line, that 50 SMA. It's struggling right at that line on the hourly. So we're going to watch and see if price can move up here to angular resistance, or if it's going to end up failing right here at resistance. So kind of just zooming back in on the position here, just showing you it is struggling to hold at the moment. But we'll watch and see. Let this 5-minute candle form just to show you this position. Again, I'm in one options contract, so I'm up 32 bucks. If I had 5 options contracts, it would be 150. If I had 10, what is that at? 300 bucks, right? So this is where you have to determine, are you wanting to take your profits up here, or are you willing to risk and see if it holds support levels below and continues above that 50 SMA, right? That's up to you. You have to determine when you want to take your profits. So for this video, I'm just going to use this 9 EMA as a guide, which is basically at this point right near previous highs, right down here at open, right around that 114 level. And you can see it's bouncing just above it. So at this point, I'm going to stay in. I'm going to look in these areas right here. If we start seeing a rejection at angular resistance on this major falling wedge, I'm definitely going to take some profits and get out if it struggles out there. Or again, if I'll stop out if I get a candle close below that 9 EMA. So this video, let's just watch and see how this plays out. Let's see if it makes a move up here or if it ends up rejecting and failing here and dumping below. So this is, again, where you have to decide, do you look and see right here, are you going to take your profits, or, are you willing to let them, let it potentially fall back? Again, you can have a nasty candle like this and give it all back. There's a lot of volatility going on when I'm making this video. If you look down here, the date, it's a few days before the election. Again, the market's been going absolutely crazy. So you have to be very careful with this. Now I'm going into earnings. Apple has earnings at the end of the day here today. So I'm not going to hold this into earnings. I'm just letting this play out to see if it moves up, but I'm not going to it's very risky trading earnings. There are earnings trading strategies, but just buying naked calls and puts is a very risky strategy. So this will be a day trade either way. Whether it goes up and I take profits, or whether it falls and I stop out or take a small win, right? So you can see right now it's failing some support right here, using that 9 EMA as a guide. So at this point, I'm just going to remove this lower trend line and just use this 9 EMA as my guide right here. You can kind of see it's basically acting as support. So we'll see, again, if it's going to hold and push price up, or if price is going to fail and I'll stop out. So now, as you can see, price is starting to fail this 9 EMA, and this was happening at resist. So you hit resistance at that 50 SMA on the hourly. Now we're watching this 5-minute candle to complete, and you can see it's coming right back down and it's retesting that previous high a day over in here. And probably right down in here is probably that 13 EMA. So again, typically I would get out on this one, but I just want to show you the goods and the bads of this. So I'm probably just going to adjust right up to probably this 20 EMA right here, just to show you right here. You can see I'm up 17 bucks. I was up over 50 at one point, again, on just one contract. So let's just let this play out. Again, I want to show you guys just the goods and the bads. If this thing fails, then we'll show you a loss. If not, and it goes up, then you'll see a gain. So you see it's right between here on that 13 EMA. So as this, again, pay attention, support resistance patterns, very, very important. This is the warning sign that it was starting to fail at resistance. Kind of second one right here was a warning sign. Now it's coming back down. It's retesting support levels. Now these moving average lines, again, they're not foolproof, but they're really helpful guides. You can see this stuff is happening right near these, these very important moving average lines, which shows previous support and resistance levels. So again, we're going to watch this right here. Let this play out. If we get a close below here, then I'll consider stopping out, taking a small loss. If it holds, that 20 EMA, which is also basically VWAP, so I'll probably just use VWAP. Those green dots are VWAP. That red line is the 20 EMA. So you'll see I got my entry basically downward over here, I believe, on the break of this flag. So you'll see, again, now I'm up 7 bucks. This is where, I was saying, do you want to take your profits at resistance levels, or do you let price fall and potentially give them all back, right? So this is where you don't just assume something's going to continue to go up. It may not, right? That's where you could take your profits, sell some of your contracts, look for entries, And that's the whole thing, right? So I was up around 50 bucks out here. Now I'm up, $7.50, right? So that's where you give back profits. And that's the whole thing with trading, right? If you're not going off the technicals. Again, the technicals were showing a warning here at resistance. So you don't just stay in just because you think it's going to go up. You got to pay attention to the technicals. So again, we'll watch this play out. You'll see there's a bounce at the moment off that 20 EMA, which is above VWAP. This could turn into a flag again, or it could turn into a head and shoulders, right? So you can think, oh, that's a bull flag and it's going to go and break out, but it could also hold, go up, reject over here, and then turn into a head and shoulders, right? So we'll watch and we'll let this thing play out. So we have a 1 minute candle, or one more minute left for the 5 minute candle to complete, as well as an hourly candle to complete right at 11 o'clock here. So you can see when I zoom in on the hourly, this is a possible reversal warning candle on the hourly near resistance. That pink line is the 50 SMA. So this is a warning of a possible reversal. Again, I'm going to remove some of these drawings right here just to kind of not clog up my charts. But you'll see as I zoom in on an hourly chart here, you'll see that's basically the 50 SMA if I remove this drawing right here. That's the 50 SMA. So now we're watching and see right here, there could be a possible pinch right here of the 9 and the 20 EMA. But again, just kind of looking at the position, you don't just assume, right? You don't want to assume things are going to go and move a direction. You have to look at the technicals. This is a warning sign. This could keep going up, but we'll just zoom in and show you again. Here's the 11 o'clock hour. There's a new hourly candle that's about to form. And, or actually, it's going into a new hour. And you'll see it stayed above the 20 EMA. So at this point, I'm just using that now as my stop, the 20 EMA, not the 9 EMA. It's trading sideways. This could turn into a head and shoulders. We'll watch and see. Like I said, I got my entry down over here. That 20 EMA VWAP right in here will be my stop. You'll see I was up again at around 50 bucks. Now I'm up 15 bucks. This thing's just kind of trading sideways. But at any point, I'm going to get rid of it today. I will day trade it. I'm not going to hold it into earnings. So we will just let this one play out, and you'll see right now it's going down to retest VWAP. So we'll watch this level very closely. So as you can see, the 20 EMA and VWAP held. There was a breakout again right back up to that line right there, that 114.50 area, which is the 50 SMA on an hourly. So it's having some struggle up in this area. So this could turn into a basically head and shoulders pattern. Got to watch and see. Again, I'm going to use this 9 and 20 EMA as my guide, just kind of really probably that 20 EMA. So you can see as I just kind of draw my trend lines, this is why I'll just use the 20 EMA. If you see, it just kind of extends out, which is essentially that red line or the 20 EMA. So I'm just going to watch this one again. You'll see I recovered back some of the profits, up 37 bucks now. Again, just going to let this thing play out. Use kind of this 20 EMA, maybe VWAP as the guide. See what happens, see if price can get above. You can see that high a day, which is right up over in here about that one. It creeped up a little bit over at that 114.58 area. But again, whole and half dollar amounts, very important levels. So watch and see if this one, again, if it turns into a head and shoulders. We'll see if it consolidates, forms an ascending triangle. Again, kind of that falling wedge pattern up over here. So we'll watch it. If I wanted to close this position, just to show you, I'm not going to close it right now, but if you wanted to close it, all you need to do is go over to your position, right click if you're in TD Ameritrade or whatever your broker is, and then just click sell position. And then I could work the order here. I can confirm and send. I could try to sell it higher. Again, work your orders, but that's how simple it is to close it. So right now I'm up 45 bucks. If I closed it, right click, sell, close the position. But right now I'm going to stay in. It's near resistance. Right now we'll watch and see if it continues up. You can see I have my support out into the distance. Got some resistance up here. So just going to keep watching this. All right. So you can see the breakout is starting to finally happen. It's moving up. You'll see some resistance right over here, the angular resistance at 115. And you'll see had this nice little breakout here forming. So at this point, I am going to just remove these drawings over here. Keep high a day right up over in here. Keep tracking this right up over here. Remove these drawings right over in here. You can see I got my angular support, watching near resistance. This is my entry down here. So again, with this one, I'm probably going to stay in this a little bit longer, but just for the purposes of this video, here's where you decide moving forward what you're going to do with this trade, right? So if you're going to day trade this, right? So this video is showing you to day trade. All you need to do is, again, you look at your resistance levels. It's selling within the same day. You know, it might be within a few minutes. Like I showed you earlier, a few areas that you'd consider taking your profits out here, maybe looking for re-entries, staying in. Again, you can stay in a little bit, you know, if it's not entered, you know, in the first hour or so, you know, if you sold it before the end of the day, that's still a day trade, right? So I'm going to stay in this one a little bit longer, but I'm going to watch these resistance levels. And again, this is where I can see now support. I might change my mind right here and just use my, you know, a close below this area as my stop. So watching for retest. Again, everybody's, you know, trading style is different in your risk management. But bottom line, you want to take profits along the way, have proper risk management strategies. But if you wanted to close this position, all you need to do, again, go over here. You can see I'm now up 67 bucks. That's for one contract. If you had 5, again, that's 300 something dollars. If you had 10, that's 600 and something dollars. That's a great trade. All you would do right over here is right click, create closing order, and then sell. And then you can either confirm and send it if you want to get out right away, or work the order. So hopefully this video helped you on day trading options, and we'll see you in our community. Enjoy.